Alright, it's that time again. Time for another midweek video. And I'm thinking how to start a fire with your vehicle. Let's get to it. This video here is going to be different. It's different in the aspect of we're not going to be deep in the woods doing bushcraft and survivaling. And here's why. Most people don't live deep in the woods. Most people live in a city, in a town, house, condo, apartment complex, and they're going to need to leave that environment to get to the woods. And there's only two ways you're going to do that. Transportation on foot, meaning you're going to walk, hike, run, jog, etc. Or some type of vehicle, motorcycle, moped, bicycle, quad, four-wheeler, boat, things like that. So what happens if there's a mechanical failure with one of these machines on your way to the woods? Do you stay with the vehicle or do you go? These are all questions that you personally have to answer. Now for today's video, I want to discuss ways to make a fire using your vehicle. Some are going to be common sense, and some are going to be off the wall, and some are going to be innovative AF. So on that note, let's go ahead and cover the common sense one. The first one is gasoline. Now before we go ahead and start getting gas out of the vehicle, there's a question you have to ask yourself. If I break down, should I stay or should I go? If there's a chance to salvage your vehicle so you can get back on the road, you never want to do anything to that vehicle to make it 100% inoperable to where you can never use it again. Now, if the situation changes and you have to abandon that vehicle in place, you got 4 flat tires, you know for a fact there's no way you're going to get that out of there. You're stuck 30 miles back in there, 40 miles, 50 miles. On foot it's going to take 2 or 3 days, but you need a fire right now so you can disinfect water to get you out of there. Then yes, you might want to go ahead and take those steps to cannibalize a vehicle or make it inoperable. So again, keep that in mind before you do anything like this. On every non-electric vehicle, you have some form of gas tank or gas reservoir. On vehicles meant for off-roading, most of the time, there's a metal shield like this one right here, and you can see the tank underneath it. That's good and bad. If you need to access the entire tank, it's bad. However, looking at that shield, you see holes everywhere. Now there's 2 ways to get gas out of a vehicle. Siphon it, which would be the optimum first choice every time, but most people don't carry hoses with them to do that. The second choice is to get a screwdriver or some type of metal implement and a rock or a hammer, place it into one of those holes, and pop a hole in the gas tank. And the best part about regular gasoline is once you have it inside of a container, you could ignite it using open flame, say from a Bic lighter, matches, or even a ferro rod. So easy it's stupid. The next method, all you gotta do is search your vehicle. If you left the house prepared, you're already carrying these, and that's ordinary jumper cables. You have red and black, this is your positive, that's your negative. Jumper cables, red to red, and you have black to black. Most sets of jumper cables, when you first purchase them, they have this bread tie looking wire that wraps around it to keep them in place in the package. It's always a good idea to keep one of these, or maybe 2 or 3. It looks like a bread tie on a bread bag, and that's exactly what it is. A thin wire coated in rubber or plastic. If you have a pocket knife, if you don't, you can get a rock and simply rub that coating off. All you're going to do is attach a positive and a negative. You're going to bridge that gap, heat up that thin wire, and then touch it to, say, gasoline or some type of tinder, even paper, and get that fire started. And you can see how thin this actually is. A paper clip will work just as well, or a small nail. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, if you don't carry jumper cables, you're already wrong, but now you have a second reason to carry them. So think about that. Now this next method is controversial. The reason why is because you got to find a vehicle that's early 2000s and before that. And the reason why is because we're going to use a common sense item called a cigarette lighter. Now most cigarette lighters you simply push in, and once it's ready it pops back out. Mine's broke. So I'm going to hold it in here for about 30 seconds. Once I pull it out, it's going to be glowing red hot. Then we can touch it to tinder, paper, gasoline, etc., and we can light our fire. Once again, simple and straightforward. Now, I have no idea what year exactly they did away with cigarette lighters. I know once e-cigarettes came into existence and the infamous vape pipe slash douche flute became popularized, they kind of phased out cigarette lighters from vehicles. And that's okay, but should you have one or come across one, there's an option. Now, the last one I want to show you is also controversial. Why? Because it involves pool shock. Now, most people don't drive around with a bag of pool shock rolling around in their vehicle. However, I think the stats were 7 or 8 homes out of 10 in America have some type of above ground or in-ground pool, and they all require some type of shock treatment to keep that water clear. So finding a house with a pool that's abandoned, in the garage, in the back shed, somewhere in there, you're going to find something like this. It's going to say shock right on it. This, along with .3 brake fluid, which is in almost every single modern vehicle, mixing those together creates a chemical reaction where it bursts into flame. On this vehicle right here, we have the battery, you have a fuse box, and there's a reservoir in the back with our brake fluid. Now, I'm not going to show this. Why? Because this is my vehicle. I'm not going to destroy it. But there's several tutorials on YouTube where all you got to do is actually disconnect one of these lines or simply cut the rubber hose and then go to the brake or have a partner pump the brakes and empty all the fluid out of the brake lines into a container. Once again, here's our reservoir. There's our lines that go inside here. They actually come out right there, and one will travel across that way. The other one goes down to where we were just at. And there you go, 4 simple ways to start a fire using your vehicle. It all comes down to one thing: should I stay or should I go? And that choice is definitely yours. I would refrain from every single one of those options with the exception of the cigarette lighter if I knew for a fact there was a chance to save my vehicle. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in 2 places. 1, my Amazon affiliate page, and 2, my Etsy store. Both links are found inside my description box. Now please do me that favor. Hit that like, subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. And as always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.